How did the interview with Pop Smoke's alleged killer come about?
So we know a bunch of people who are real close to him that we thought they were actual blood brothers, but it turned out that they were just like real close friends. And they got in touch with us when he got out. And there was talk of a few different people doing the interview, but ultimately I just decided that I felt like I could do a really good job of the interview, and it was a story that I thought was important for people to hear. And I feel like, sometimes like it's so frequent and so common that we interview people that we admire and that have mostly contributed good to the world. And I just thought, like, you know what, this is an important story for us to get the lowdown on. And to me, like, the fact that this is a person who did something like extremely evil, I just still felt like this is an important part of hip hop history for us to document. And the truth is that, like, coming from the neighborhood that he's from, it's like this is part of just LA street shit too. Like, everybody I know was dying to see that interview. So ultimately, like, when I say that, like, we don't necessarily get the super A-lister interviews, it's like we gravitate more towards the street level shit. I felt like it was almost like my duty to do that shit for our audience because so many people were hitting me up about it and were curious about who this kid was and shit like that. So ultimately, I didn't have any kind of moral qualms about platforming him. I thought it was important.
Was any part of it uncomfortable?
Yeah, just like
during it.
The fact that he felt so, like, he had such a hard time expressing any kind of remorse, and you really got like a window into like a young ass kid who just spent like 4 or 5 of his developmental years locked up. And
damn, it's been that long?
Yeah, I think he got killed in 2020. Mm-hmm. And just like he's been trained and molded to like not be able to express remorse even in a situation like that. And I was almost having to like put the words in his mouth. Like I said, I use this as an example. I said, if I drive home from here today and I accidentally hit somebody with my car and they die, I'm going to feel horrible beyond belief. Even if I know in my heart of hearts that I was looking at the road, they just walked right out into the street, I did not intend to do this, I'm still going to feel horrible. And when I was saying that, he was like, horrible. He's like, that's how I felt. And I was like, damn, that's so crazy that like his upbringing and his street code that he goes by or whatever, and the way that they think of their ops or their beef situations or whatever, like it was like he was unable to express remorse without me kind of like prompting him. And that was like so sad for me to see.
I ain't see it, but niggas be trying to basically stick to shit, bro. He made me. He shouldn't. What did he say? Why he say they shot?
Too much movement.
Yeah, they pulled up on him and he was trying to fight back, basically.
Oh, for real. So dude who you interviewed, he was the shooter?
It's unclear, but it kind of seems to me like the person who shot him is probably still locked up, and he was the youngest one, so he ended up taking a certain amount of the charges or something like that. That's kind of what he was hinting at off camera. So I feel like he might not have been the one who actually pulled the trigger.
Man.
Well, because in California, are they doing that here with the youth?
Man,
they charge it. How they went back and not charge. They still charging them
getting the whole thing. But if you know you did something, you did.
So in LA, it ain't no more none of that. If you under the age of 17 or 17 when you commit that crime, there's no way you could be charged as an adult. The max time you could get is juvenile life, and it used to be to 25, but now it's either 23 or 21. So it don't matter how old you was. If you was 15, you would have did till you was 23. But if you 17, you still doing the same thing. You get what I'm saying? So this is the first time that we were able to ever see somebody really kill a rapper, get out of jail, and speak about it.
Like, there's a rapper from up north, Sacramento.
Oh, they just started that shit?
Yeah, this
pretty recent.
It just started like 2 years ago.
But this dude X-rated from up Northern California, he basically got into a shootout, went to go kill somebody, I believe, with a couple of his friends, and ended up killing the dude's grandma by accident. And he went down for like 25 years and got out. And like, I did an interview with him. I just interviewed him again, but I interviewed him like 3-4 years ago. And he explained that during the interview that like they used his lyrics against him that they can't do legally now. They charged him as an adult, even though he was underage, which they can't do now. So, like I think about somebody like X-Rated. I'm doing an interview with him. He killed somebody, or was at least involved in killing somebody, but we had to wait 25 years to hear his story. And that was the shocking part, I think, about the Blockstar kid who was responsible for the Pop Smoke thing, because you get to hear his story like 4 years later when he's still very young. And I mean, I guess like the biggest difference between them is Pop Smoke killed the beloved hip hop icon, and Blockstar X-Rated killed, an older woman that we don't know or was involved with killing her. And I don't know, I just felt like it was important for me to be like ideologically consistent. Like I've seen, Vlad got so much shit for interviewing No Plug back in the day. I felt like he did the right thing. You let him tell his story in a situation that people really didn't understand at that time.
Yeah. I feel like people interviewing Young and Ace and all these rappers that killed a civilian, the person that ain't nobody, they don't get no backlash about it. Like if it was the other way around and Poppin' them caught somebody liking and he would have been, he would have took off in hip hop. He would have been, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying disregard
Hold on. You
Pop.
saying what? You saying?
I say had it been vice versa and it wasn't a move, right? And he just ended up killing the little dude that killed him just on some random, just a different situation. You know what I'm saying? He would have been looked at as like, oh, he a poppin' drill. He really with the shit.
You saying, so basically what you saying.
When the rapper kill, we don't give him no shit. But when it go be vice versa, it's like he the worst man in the world. Mm-hmm. Like somebody's life is valuable.
Saying like if a 17-year-old rapper was in LA, killed a nigga, got out, did the 4 years, he blowing up.
Yeah.
He take care.
And honestly, the Blockstar kid, if he puts out music and if it's halfway good, you're probably going to see that.
But see, you got to look at it like the civilian nigga isn't popular. That's the whole like difference to the shit. Like this rap nigga is popular, so it's like you took one of our heroes. But if it's a regular nigga, like he might be a hero to somebody, but he's not a hero to most, like the rap nigga is.
So does it?
That don't make it good though.
No, I'm not saying that it makes it good, but I'm saying that's what
Yeah.
shoots him out of here and makes him hated. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference.
Yeah, that's why it's like you can't really be biased down to a point of like, oh, he killed him, so don't platform him. But if it go this way, you can platform it. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
you just gotta let that rock.
And right before I interviewed him, I interviewed Terrence Gangster Williams, who allegedly has like 40 plus bodies. Who'd he kill? A bunch of gang members in New Orleans back in the day that we don't know. And it's like, is this fair that one person is forbidden from doing interviews because he killed somebody beloved, while I can have a conversation with somebody who killed 40 people because it's convenient to me that I don't know who they were? I mean, I just felt like it was more important to be consistent.
Yeah.